I'm convinced that these small incremental changes over time lead to a very big shift in your life, and ultimately you're sort of deciding now what your later years are going to be like, and that's something that's really important to me. Hey friends, welcome to my channel. I'm AmandaMuse, and today we are going to be discussing a few things that I have been incorporating into my life or making time for or just doing more of that is helping me feel better. I'm 39, I'm gonna be 40 next year, and I don't know, there's like something that shifted this year in terms of my mindset about what is important, what I'm prioritizing, and I think a lot of us in this similar season are likely going through this, maybe have gone through this. This is coming up, so let's talk about it. I also have some products I'm going to be sharing as well. It definitely feels very holistic, like we are going to be taking a look at all of the different facets of life, how I'm prioritizing certain things, why I think some things are important, and hopefully this might help you on your aging journey. I mean, isn't it a gift to get older every year? I find that's the biggest thing, is looking at aging like, damn, I'm lucky to be here. I mean, I can probably say daily I'm hit with stories online about people whose lives have been cut short or where things have happened and their whole lifestyle has changed. And if anything, it makes me feel a lot of gratitude for my existing life, despite it not being perfect. I am a big fan of the word "and" these days. Like, I love my life and I'm also working in some areas. I'm working to improve certain things. I can feel stressed in my day-to-day, and I also make time to do things that I know are going to help me feel better in the long run, or maybe even in the short term. And is a big, powerful word. So as I say that, let's jump into my first category, which is skincare. I think a lot of us think about our skincare. We look at other people's skin, what's working for them, what's not working, and ultimately it's going to be different for everybody, right? I try to keep it real simple because if it isn't simple, as in my skincare routine, the chances are very high that I won't do it. That's just the way it is. So in the morning, I simply throw water on my face. I don't typically need a soap because I usually wash my face the night before. There isn't really any residue or makeup or anything like that on my skin, just like natural oils. And then I add a vitamin C serum and an SPF. My vitamin C serums that I've been using lately, I've got two in my hands here. This one is from IDC Plus, and it is called, or IDC Plus, yeah, this is the Boost Vitamin C Pro, and this one is a specialized radiance and dark serum spot. It's got more of a serum texture, so as you rub it in, it feels more, it's a thicker type of serum, just like that. This one's from Vivier, and it's also a serum, however, it is in droplet format and is very liquidy. And both sort of do the same thing. Lately, I'm more drawn to my IDC Plus product. I think I just like the texture better. I like the smell better right now. Sometimes the scent of the Vivier one throws me off. Also, it's a little bit more of an oily feeling. I mean, they both work beautifully. It just kind of, this one at the moment, I'm more drawn to this one simply for the texture. I am by no means a skincare expert. However, I did learn that if you use a vitamin C underneath your SPF, it tends to enhance your SPF. I could be wrong on this, but you know what? I feel like the two go together very nicely. So I just brought one of my SPFs down, and this is from the brand CeraVe. It is their Skin Renewing Day Cream. This is an SPF 30. I mean, it's well used. I probably have used, this is like my third or fourth bottle of this. I feel like it's averagely priced in terms of an SPF for the face, although it's not that cheap, honestly. I buy this at Shoppers Drug Mart, and it's kind of my go-to. I also like that it does have that cream texture, so it isn't shiny, it's a matte finish, and it feels like you've also put on a lotion. So I like this one. There are many others that I like though. This just happens to be one of them. Evening is not that much more dramatic. I'm not married to any of these products. This is just what I'm using right now. So IDC Plus also has this lovely retinol, and this is their Retinol Pro Specialized Smoothing and Anti-Wrinkle Serum, 0.3% retinol. So it's a rather low percentage. I think you can get up to like 1%, maybe more, not sure. My skin is a little sensitive, and this one seems to be very like non-burning. I don't get any red spots in the morning. I don't need to skip a day if I don't want to, but I tend to put this on like every other night, but you could apply it nightly. So I wash my face, make sure all my makeup's off, do my double cleanse, apply my retinol. This is a new one for me. So It Cosmetics sent me actually the next two products, and I'm in love with this product. So this is called their Confidence in Your Beauty Sleep Serum. It is a thick serum. It has an interesting fragrance, but it grows on me. Like I put it on, it also feels like it's warming. So when I put it on, it feels like it heats up on my skin. That might be not actually what it does, but in my mind, on my skin, it feels warm. So it's lovely, a nice thick serum, plump and radiance, and it has vitamin C, ferulic acid, polydatin, all sorts of fabulous things in here. I don't know what many of those things do, but you know what? It's It Cosmetics. I trust the brand. I've used a fair amount of it, although it is lasting a long time. So love this serum. And then I pair it with the It Cosmetics. This is a Confidence in a Cream. I am obsessed with this cream. I love the fragrance. I am trying to use it sparingly, although it is starting to vanish. It is a beautiful cream. This texture is like heaven to me. It's between this one and CeraVe has a night cream that I absolutely love as well. I've gone through tubs and tubs of it, but this might be better than that one. And so this one isn't, it says anti-aging armor. I don't know. I'm not really like must have anti-aging. I just want I like a really thick moisturizing night cream at night, and this fits the bill. Transforming moisturizing super cream for all skin types. I just love it. So yeah, It Cosmetics, I'm a big fan lately. And this IDC Plus nighttime routine. That was a lot about skincare, although skincare is important, and it's also just a fun thing to get into this like habit, this ritual of your evening routine to set you up for success, which leads to our next topic, which is sleep. I am prioritizing sleep so much. So if you've been following me here for a while, you may remember back in the day when my kids were young, I used to stay up late and I would edit my videos until late into the night and early mornings, and I think that was really important for me at the time. I needed to carve out space just for Amanda and work on my creative projects. And it was beneficial, it paid off. However, I realized that that is not something I can like continue long term. I just find that the more I sleep, the better I feel. And my days are also different. I'm not running after little babies and toddlers in the day anymore. I have work hours, and so I was able to shift my schedule. So with that said, I just try not to go to bed too late. I could stay up late. I typically like staying up late. But lately I found myself around 10 o'clock just like shutting off the television. Maybe 11 I'll stay up to, but I like to shut it down, like to do my evening routine, tuck the kids into bed, have a little visit with them, do my skincare, and read a book or, get into my nighttime routine. I really just enjoy the ritual of it all, and so sleep is a big one. However, if you're like me, and I believe I'm entering into perimenopause, I think it's PS like really hard to pinpoint when that happens because our hormones fluctuate so much every day, and especially over the course of a month, that it's really hard to pinpoint like at what point are we entering perimenopause. But I do notice that there's some little changes, and a big one, I think in the last 6 months, has been my sleep. So I notice that I wake up between 3 and 4 a.m., and upon doing a little research, I realized this is fairly common for women as they enter their 40s, as they get into perimenopause. So perimenopause, by the way, can last like 10 years. It's not menopause. Menopause is the end of your periods, and they are like when you haven't had a period for 12 solid months, then you're in menopause. I'm pretty sure that's what that is. So with that said, I started following some of the research by Dr. Sarah Gottfried. If I remember, I will link her below. Heard of her on the Huberman Lab. And they talk a lot about like the brain and the body and health and all these really interesting things. And what I realized from Dr. Sarah Gottfried is that there's just a lot of stuff happening with our hormones as women, and our cortisol, which is like the stress hormone, just really kicks into high gear, and some shit gets out of whack. I'm not a scientist, and that's my scientific definition. Like, stuff gets weird. So she recommended this one. So this is called Cortisol Manager from Integrative Therapeutics, sorry. And it says to help reduce symptoms of stress. Now, the main products in here are ashwagandha, magnolia, L-theanine, and phospho something or other. I need my glasses. Another thing about getting older. I take one of these right before bed, and I have been sitting with this, not gatekeeping, but I want to make sure that this is something that actually works before I share it with you, and I'm happy to report it legitimately works. Could it be a placebo effect on the nights when I don't take it and I wake up? Maybe, but there will be times where I'm traveling and I don't have it with me. And I'm not talking like different countries. I'm talking like families, houses I've slept at many times before, or a cottage or whatever. And I wake up and I'm like, damn it, I wish I had these pills right now, type of thing. But this is helping with sleep. And then actually the other day I went to my local health food store and I found this one. And this one is called Adrenal Chill. This is from a Canadian company. This is CanPrev, and very similar in terms of ingredients, the main ones being ashwagandha, and this is KSM 66, which has ashwagandha extract and something else. And basically, oh, and then the L-theanine. So those two products. What seems to differ is that this one has magnolia and phosphodiesterone. I can't really say it. A few things that this one's missing, but essentially it does the same thing. It's the ashwagandha that is really helping reduce the stress. And what I learned about it, which I just find kind of fascinating, is that ashwagandha is one of these things. Basically what she was explaining to me is that let's say you have a lot of stress hormone, it'll help reduce it. If you don't have enough stress hormone, it'll help balance you out. So I just thought it was really fascinating, and you can take one in the morning and take one at night, but I find in the day I'm good. It's really just that sleep. So I take one pill, either, not both, but one or the other. I take one before bed and I'm noticing a difference. This one's given me a little bit of like trippy dreams, not scary dreams, not like antidepressant scary dreams, but it's like vivid. And a friend of mine, she actually just texted me today. She went and picked this up over the weekend. She's had 4 sleeps using it. She says she's not waking up, which is amazing, but her dreams are super vivid. So just a heads up. But I'm really happy with this. And this I can buy in person at my health food store versus Amazon. But I will say of the two, I think I prefer this one, the cortisol manager. So I know I talk about this a lot, but another big thing for me is movement. I try to refrain from using the term exercise because it has such like a negative connotation. To me, movement seems free and flowing and fun, and that is what I like about it. So for myself, the biggest thing lately is I'm trying to walk more. It doesn't always mean I get a walk in every day, although I try. I have dogs, I have a reason. I also have a really big backyard, which sometimes is a deterrent. Like I know that they've had a good run in the backyard, but like everybody loves a walk. So I try to walk more. I also am lifting weights. So in order of priority, I'm like walking and lifting weights are like even, and then secondary is fun cardio. I say fun because I genuinely enjoy certain cardio things. Like I love a spin class. I love walking on the treadmill. And it's just, that's fun for me. That's part of my workout. I enjoy it, but I try not to do it first because I don't want to burn all my energy in the spin class and not have time to do the weightlifting. The weightlifting is the really important one for women our age. We're talking, we want to keep, our bone density strong and healthy. If you want to see shift in fat, like if you're trying to lose weight, it's going to be the weightlifting that's going to make the biggest difference. You could do cardio till the damn cows come home and your body may not shift, and that is just the reality. And so why not do like a 20-minute weight session and then tack on a 15-minute spin class, and boom, under 40 minutes you have this incredible workout, right? So those are the big ones for me. Being someone who loves to check shit off of a list, I love my Apple Watch. I can click right on the fitness element, and I love to see like how many steps I've taken, what my workouts are for the day. I like to set goals for myself. But that said, some people can be really triggered by, certain goal setting. It can become a little obsessive. Like, I'm not going to sit here and tell you you need to get 10,000 steps a day, because in the last few years, the research around that has kind of been like debunked. Like, that's not actually a thing. Like, you just need to do some steps, like move your body, and you're going to feel better. So I just make movement a priority. And I have said this forever, but I know for myself, and I can only speak of my own experience, but when I move my body, I am like a happier person. And it is that simple. And I always find this time of year, I really try to get into a strong routine about it because it's fall. The seasons are changing, and that seasonal depression, who's a real bitch, is around the corner, and I know she coming, right? With the lack of sunshine and all that stuff. So I'm like, okay, if I can get into a good routine, I just gotta keep going and make it happen when it starts getting dark and cold and all those things. So that's where my Apple Watch helps me, because when I go for my outdoor walk, I say outdoor walk because I'll like click on, you know, the fitness guy, and I'm like, and it says, it's upside down, I'm sure, but it says outdoor walk. Do you want to start it? Yes. And it helps me stay motivated. Different things are going to motivate different people. This works for me. You find out what works for you, but big fan of my Apple Watch, and she's cute. I just like it. Like, you can track your cycle on your watch. I track my cycle. I don't track my sleep because I don't wear it to bed. It's just not for me. But I track my cycle. I track my fitness. I like checking the weather. Like, it's all here. I use this to stay organized. I set reminders. I could do a whole thing on my Apple Watch. But for now, in terms of the fitness, I just love seeing what my movement is and like tracking it on a daily, weekly basis. I've got 3 more things for you. So this next one is connected to the movement, but it's food and hydration. So, you know, food is really tricky. I find, you know, I've been really focused on how I've been eating lately. So, you know, Amanda, you don't need to snack too late into the night, and let's choose healthier snacks. Something that's tricky for me is like, I didn't really grow up in a house that was like super focused on bad food. No, my mom cooked a lot. My stepdad cooked a lot. When I was at my grandparents' houses, there was always nice meals being made, but there wasn't like a huge focus on what we were eating per se. So, and what I mean by that is like, there weren't like a lot of, you know, pumpkin seeds or chia seeds or, you know, walnuts or things like lots of beans in my diet. It was very like basic meat, potatoes, veg, you know, and it was simple and it was great. But I find I'm sort of learning about nutrition as I go, and how can I make nutrition attainable, affordable, and also something my family will enjoy, but then also easy enough to prepare that I will go and make it rather than, you know, make a sandwich really quick. Not that sandwiches are bad, but like I will eat a salami sandwich every day, which is fine and tasty, but I also would like to add more vegetables to my diet, get more beans and protein and that kind of thing. So I've been upping my protein a ton. When I think about it, I'm like, protein, protein, protein. It fills me up, that keeps me, you know, full longer, and I just think is working better for my body. So I think like in the last month or so, I've been sort of monitoring my meals and thinking ahead a little bit and trying to make more from scratch. And I go like this because some of the stuff for other people might just be so simple, but this doesn't come simple to me, and it's never come easy to me to just be in the kitchen and like creating. I just don't exist in that world. I love to eat it. If somebody was making me, if I had a chef and somebody was making me healthy meals, I would eat every single healthy damn thing. I love it. But the preparation is so exhausting to me. And I have a partner who's an incredible chef. It's just like he never skips the butter, and we could do with a little bit more vegetables in our lives, you know? So I'm just like, you know what? Just make it happen, Amanda. This is your priority. Make it happen. And in terms of movement, so when I'm doing heavy weightlifting, I love to have a protein shake afterwards. I'm obsessed with this brand. So this is AmandaMuse. And if I'm not mistaken, this is a female-run business, and I think she was a content creator and then she started a business. I don't really know the story, but I do really like the product. So this one is a whey protein, and it's called Munchies. Definitely has that sweet, salty element. It's fun. It's tasty. It's far sweeter than I anticipated. I really like the Optimum. I think it's an Optimum brand on Amazon. I will link it because it's really good. I had their French vanilla one, or just vanilla. Very tasty. So I add this to some milk and some ice, and I just stir it up, and I do it immediately following a heavy workout, and it just kind of gets that hunger, that initial hunger at bay, fills me up with protein, and then I get ready, I have a shower, and then I come back down and I make myself lunch. So really love this protein. And what I just found is like, again, upping my protein, it never hurts, at least for me, and from all of the conversations I've heard and been researching around protein and women's health, is it is really good to fill up your belly with protein. Like, you're gonna feel better, helps rebuild those muscles if you've just worked them out. I just feel really good and very alert. Like, I have my coffee in the morning. I don't have a coffee in the afternoon anymore. And that's been I don't know, a few months at least now, and that's huge for me. I was like a lot of coffee a day kind of gal, and I'm convinced it's the weightlifting, it's the sleep, and it's the protein. All working together. Of course, connected to the, connected to the food is hydration. So you see this giant mug. This was sent to me. It was a PR gift and it's lovely. It's not a Stanley, but it mimics it. I will say though, like this thing leaks like crazy. So this is just like an at my desk type of beverage, but I love me a nice thermos to put my ice in there and my water. And I will drink ice and water, that's perfect. But I also just really like, again, from this Alani brand. So this is something that I love to add this to my water. It's BCAA. I don't use a full scoop just because I just don't like it so sweet. So I just take the scoop and I fill it like up a third and then I'll add that to my water bottle. And it's just like a nice little flavor. My favorite at the moment is Hawaiian shaved ice. I get all of these products on Amazon. I love them. And they're like competitively priced in terms of other products like this. And I've tried a bunch. What I like about a BCAA, it's for muscle recovery, endurance, hydration. It just tastes good. I feel good. And it doesn't like get you buzzed. It's not like a pre-workout like this one. So a pre-workout again from Alani. This I take about 15 minutes before I go do my workout and it just gives me like a little kick. Again, I'm not using a full scoop. This is like a triple dose of caffeine basically if you've ever tried a pre-workout. And if you find when you take a pre-workout that your like lips tingle or you feel a bit like itchy, because some people can have a weird reaction to it, one, maybe double check you haven't overdone it with the dose. So again, I'm like a third of a spoonful and it's plenty for me, or maybe even half if I need like an extra kick. But I just love it. And this one is Cosmic Stardust. I like the flavor. And yeah, it says here, energy, endurance, and pump. It just gives you that little bam to like take on your workout. Some people are really against this. I just find that the outcome of me working out outweighs any negatives. So I'm a big fan of these products. I have this goal to be healthy and strong in my 70s, in my 80s, into my 90s if I can. And I want to have a certain life and I want to have a certain existence. And so it's my goal. And I'm sticking to it. Since we're talking about things that are important to work on, to nurture, this next one is intimacy. Basically, go have sex more. That's my, that is my suggestion, okay? We are nearing 40. We're not done. It ain't over. Okay, your babies likely are a little older. If you have smaller children, don't worry, the season will come back to you. But your body doesn't need to be perfect. You don't need to be perfect. Your partner doesn't need to be perfect. You just have to get back on that damn bike. Okay? And if you find maybe you're single or your lifestyle just doesn't accommodate having that intimacy with your partner, girl, make some time for yourself. There are plenty of battery operated wonderful toys out there, but just like connect with your body. I think it's so important. It's a great way to let off some steam. And really, what more can I say? You know what I mean? Just make the time for it, okay? It's great. It's wonderful. I love it. My last suggestion or my last thing that I've been doing in my life to just try to feel good in my body is find more time for enjoyable things that I find enjoyable. Lately, I have been just chilling out. I mean, I remember last year talking about certain like life goals I had for myself and it was like, I want to chill more, I want to rest more. Well, I've made it a priority and now it's just kind of a natural flow in my day-to-day and in my life. So a big one is reading. I have this amazing Kindle. This is the Paperlight, I think it's called, on the back. So on my Kindle, this flips over and I love this little part here. I just love to hold it in my hand, like as I'm, just kind of holds it in place as you're reading. So I'm currently reading, I'm really big into fantasy at the moment. I find I'll read like a series, think like A Court of Thorn and Roses, loved it. Crescent City, loved it. I'm currently reading A Throne of Glass. It is a little bit longer, a little bit drawn out, but I'm enjoying it, and it's like so fun to read these books. I also have on my list The Fourth Wing, that will be coming up. It's like I escape into a different world with all these like strong female characters and I'm here for it. So that's really fun. I love to read before bed. I try to get a couple of like pages in before I literally pass out, but it's really fun. I love it. Pretty much every weekend, one of my life goals is like, can I lay down on my bed for an hour and read? Life goals. Listening to podcasts, also really enjoyable. I like to add that to walking, so going back to the point about movement. I'm currently listening to a book, actually, called A Radical Awakening by Dr. Shefali. What's her last name? It's just Dr. Shefali. She's amazing. You've probably seen some of her videos on Instagram, but this Radical Awakening is very much like tuning into the self. You know, how do we become independent, confident, worthy women? Like, how do we embark on that journey? So far, I'm really enjoying that book. I do love my crime podcasts. Ooh, I just listened to this one called The Retrievals about women's health and medical malpractice. Terrifying. I'll link it below. The Retrievals. Wow. And then in terms of watching, I love to watch TV. So if Dean and I watch a show together, it's typically like a true crime documentary or something of that sort. But I'm also really enjoying The Morning Show on Apple TV, season 3. Very fun. So if you kind of look at this list, it's a lot of definitely like lifestyle immersed items, but ultimately it's finding some things about yourself that you find enjoyable, that are important to you, and making them happen. And then also tuning into yourself and figuring out, what is it that you need? Do you need more sleep? Do you need more time with friends? Do you need more solitude? You know, what is it? What is going to make you feel better in your body? And I'm convinced that these small incremental changes over time lead to a very big shift in your life. And ultimately, you're sort of deciding now what your later years are going to be like. And that's something that's really important to me. I see people in my life who've made some bad decisions, and their life is something I definitely don't want. And I don't want to be in that place. And how do I, not have that happen? It's by making small changes now. And ultimately, when you're leading a life that you enjoy, you're gonna feel good. So anyway, that's my 2 cents for today. Thank you for being here. I'd love to know what's working for you. Share in the comments if you've made some changes in your life. We love to share. We love to hear about how everyone's doing. So thanks for being here, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye for now.